Hey, Bola here, and you guys, we are working on a No Sew Quilted Ornament. Here's the supply list. Try to get you a screenshot if you can. Fabric, scissors, straight pins, Styrofoam ball, glue gun, ribbon, and thimble, which is optional. For this project, I am using 4 different fabrics. They are cut to 2.5-inch squares, and then I have another length of coordinating fabric that will be going around the center of the completed ornament, and some ribbon. So let's go ahead and get started. To start off, we are going to find the center of our styrofoam ball. Once we have the center, we're going to use our center fabric. You are going to use 4 pieces of the fabric for each side. So you will need a total of 8 fabrics to complete the project for your center piece. Fold those squares in half lengthwise and then in half again. You're trying to find the center of that square. Stick your push pin through the center of the fabric, and then you'll place the fabric into the ball. With that push pin fabric, right side down, so that once your fabric is in place, you will see the pretty colors on the right side that we are going to fold. So what you'll do is you'll fold it in half lengthwise, and then you'll take each side, the left and the right, and you'll fold it at a diagonal to form a little triangle on the left and on the right, so that the end result will be a triangle with a split in the center. Once you have your triangle nice and pretty, you are going to add push pins to the side flaps like I'm doing here. Just stick that push pin in there. You can also add a push pin to the center where the 2 triangles meet in the center. I'm choosing not to, but it just depends on your preference. I'm using my thimble here to help me push in those pins, because believe you me, those pins do wreak havoc on tired fingers. So for the next piece, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold our fabric square in half lengthwise, find the center that way, finger press it, open it up, fold it again lengthwise. We're going to turn it and then fold it so that we can grab that center, finger press it. Now you have a center that you can use to pin this next piece of fabric for your ornament. Place your pin right there in the center, and then this next piece, this next fabric will go across, diagonally across from your first piece of fabric. So we're going to place it as close as we can get into that styrofoam ball. I'm going to use my thimble to help me push in that pin. Then I'm going to fold my fabric in half lengthwise, and then we're going to make our triangles on the right and on the left. And again, this is going to be directly across, directly diagonally from our first triangle. So I'm just trying to fix that fabric, make it as pretty as I can, kind of try to make sure that it stays straight. You can add other guidelines and things like that onto your styrofoam ball to help you make sure that you are placing your fabric as straight as possible. I'm just kind of doing the lazy crafter method with this ornament, and it's just kind of an intro to non-sew or no-sew quilted ornaments. We stick our pins on those tails of our triangle here, and then we move on to the next pieces. So you're going to be working diagonally, so across from the previous triangle that you've applied. So we're going to just go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to let you go, and I'll be right back. How'd you do? We are done with round 1, and now we're moving on to round 2. You're going to need 8 of your pre-cut fabric squares in your next color. So I've got all my 16 total, 1 for the first side, or 8 for the first side, and then 8 for the second side. And we are going to repeat the process. Fold that square in half, turn it, fold it again in half, find your center mark. And then you're going to stick your pin into the center mark, and then what you're going to do is you're going to look for the first 2 triangles we placed in our first fabric. They're going to be underneath, so that one's kind of on top, you can see that, and then you can see the one that's underneath, and we're going to go into the white portion or in between, and then you'll be able to put your pin in. I'm going down about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little more. And then repeating the process, folding our fabric, folding it again, and then just pushing those needles in, those pins in, just to make sure that they are nice and tight. There you go. And then you're going to pin those ends. Just like so, 1 on each end, 1 in the middle if that makes you feel better. Use our thimble to press those in good and solid. Then we're going to go across from that one, and that's how we're going to continue to build. So go ahead and complete your second round, and I'll see you for round 3. Round 2 is through, so how did you do? On to round 3 for me. You like the way I'm rhyming? That's kind of silly. Anyway, we're going to go to our third fabric color, and again, we're going to follow the same path. We're going to find the one that is underneath. We're going to stick our pin about a 1/4 inch, give or take, into that section, and then we're going to continue on with going diagonally across, and then each side, and then repeating that for these 8 pieces for round 3. Catch you in round 4. So round 3 is complete. How did you do? We're going to do round 4, por favor. Let's do it. So we're going to follow the same thing. Find the the triangles from the first or from the third round that are kind of underneath, and then stick our pins. We're going to keep with our 1/4 inch distance between those peaks, and we're going to just go all the way around. So I hope you have it down by now. It's just a bunch of repeats and repeats. And here I'm just, thinking I'm all that in a bag of Cheetos and, trying to put 4 at a time. You do you, though. You do you. Good luck with round 4, and I'll see you at the end. got all 4 rounds down on the first side of our ornament. So now we just got to flip it over, do the next side, and then once you got both sides done, if you have any overlapping fabric like I kind of do, I'm just going to trim that back a little bit just so that I don't lose any of those peaks from either side where that fabric is kind of being a little distracting. And so just kind of trim around if you need to. It really just depends on the size ball that you're using, whether or not any of your fabric is going to be overlapping. So I'm just going to give it a quick trim, and then we can move on to our center piece. Alright, so we have our center strip of fabric. I'm using about a 3-inch wide strip. I believe this one's probably like 20 inches long, give or take. It's just an extra piece that I had. So you're just going to use your glue gun, some glue sticks, and you're going to measure around the width of your ball so that your goal is to cover any of those pins that might be visible from the ornament where the 2 sides meet. So you're just going to kind of measure it around like so. Kind of cut off any extra fabric that you might have, and then what we're going to do after we've ironed our fabric flat, we're going to fold that fabric inwards to make about an inch wide band. So I'm going to iron it, fold it, iron it, and then I'm going to pin it to my ornament. Now that our centerpiece is all flat and ironed, we're going to go ahead and pin it to what will be the center of our ornament. I just kind of willy-nilly picked a spot. You can be more specific about where you want the center of your ornament to be. This is basically where you're going to add your hanging piece of ribbon so that you can hang that onto your tree or whatever it is you're planning on decorating. And I'm just using hot glue and my hot glue gun here to adhere this center strip all the way around my ball. You don't have to use fabric, bear that in mind. You can use cute ribbon. You can use a completely different kind of fabric if you want. You can use multiple fabrics, give it a little bit of a layered look. You can add beads. You can do all kinds of other things to zhuzh it up a little bit, to make it a little more fancy schmancy if that's in your wheelhouse, or if that's something that you want to give a try to make it kind of stand out from everybody else's ornaments. So I'm just wrapping this around, gluing as I go, picking off any little loose threads that I might come across. And then when I get to the end where the 2 ends meet, I'm just going to snip off any extra fabric, fold that end in onto itself, and kind of butt those 2 ends together to kind of seal the deal, if you will. Alright folks, we are almost done. So we're going to take a couple of strips of our ribbon. This one I believe I did like a 10-inch length, and then the second length is about 20 inches. You can make them as short or as long as you want them to be. This first piece, I'm just finding the middle, and that's going to be the hanger part. And then the longer part, I'm just sticking one tail into the needle, and then I'm just folding over to make a loop. And then pinching that down on my needle, folding it over again to make the next loop, pinching that onto the needle, and then I'm just going to keep doing that through the entire length of that ribbon, and that's going to make a really cute little bow on the top. You can do different size ribbons, different color ribbons. You can make the bows bigger, shorter. You can pretty much make it however you want. And one more pin or two maybe ought to do us. We're good to go. Got that last little loopy loop in there. And we are going to then add just a smidgen of hot glue to the spot where we joined the two fabrics that went around the side. And that's just going to help secure our ribbon to the ornament so that, you know, we don't run any risk of having that ornament slip off the tree or a package or whatever other decoration that you might have the ornament on. We're going to zhuzh out those little loopy doopies to make them look really cute. And then we're going to tie a knot at the top of our first piece, the smaller piece, and that's going to be the little hanging section. So you can make this a little bit longer. After I did it, I realized it was probably a little bit too short. So if I were to do it again, or when I do it again, I will definitely make that piece a little bit longer, but you know, I maybe burn those ends just so that they don't fray. But there you have it, folks. It is so cute. How did you do? I hope you love it. And what I like to do to finish it off is I'm using my little bead scoop here, and I'm just pressing into the heads of those pins just to make sure that they're good and secure into that styrofoam. And voila, here we go. These are some of my finished ornaments. And you can see that I've added a clay figure to one of them, so you can pretty much decorate it however you would like. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you will be notified whenever a new video becomes live. And I love you. Bye!